I'll start my speech in 3, 2, and 1. If Proposition thinks that banning aquariums will instantly improve the conditions of animals, they're completely wrong. Because what about other things such as marine circuses or animal training sites for the pleasure of humans? The problem eventually still persists without the correct thinking and solutions at all. Since the main focus of this debate should be about how animals are better preserved and protected. So teams should actually pay attention to how the economy will change depending on the policies given up by the government. The main question that both sides are tackling in this debate is how marine life will consequently be affected, for the better or for the worse. And there'll be 3 questions I'll answer in this speech. Number 1, how our side better protect the animals, why aquariums are necessary in return, and how people have more access to aquatic life, and lastly, how the economy will thrive as a whole. First of all, a number of flaws that has been made by Proposition. Proposition assumes the fact that banning aquariums will instantly protect marine lives without addressing the consequences. They do not take into consideration the factors such as the economy, the people who will be working there, or where these animals will eventually go. And second, they never mention how their alternatives are more effective in the long run. Their alternatives such as like VR, documentaries, or they also mention coastal sanctuaries without even saying what it is or how it works in real life. As our second speakers told you, that these things are very difficult to maintain and they take a lot of effort. Now let's come straight to the clash just to see how we weigh this debate and why opposition takes the win. First, the first clash is on marine lives protection. There are a couple of things that need to remember about this clash. First of all, on our side, we talked about the practical benefits that aquariums bring to marine animals. They're not just cages for animals to live in and be mistreated. Rather, they open doors to endless research and possibility to the aquatic community and potentially help marine lives like preventing certain diseases. And the proposition simply thinks that, oh, if we ban aquariums, animals will be free and have better living conditions. In reality, aquariums form important global research and also rescue sites, rescue networks as a whole. On a bigger scale, they even collaborate with other international networks for animal rescue. Aquariums aren't just for entertainment, but extend further to scientific research, and they also help breed animals and bring in crucial research to the scientific community. Now, what has Proposition told us? First of all, Proposition said that this is built on the sufferings of living beings, and this is just for the pleasure of humans. However, they must notice that in aquariums, there are monthly reports for aquariums, and Marine Protection Center will come in to check on the conditions of animals, and it's just impossible that the aquariums will mistreat them, don't feed them inadequate food. The proposition is just overthinking themselves. And to open aquariums, they also have to meet certain standards like spaces and hygiene, and the ability to maintain aquatic centers. It's also important to notice that aquariums are also improving for the better, as our previous speakers have mentioned. For example, now a lot of aquariums are having larger tanks with better environment or living conditions, and the animals in aquariums are mostly captive bred, and they also have release programs if they think that this animal is suitable to go out and live in the wild. So instead of banning, we believe that it's just going to be better if we just regulate up to standard equipment and have more reward systems for aquariums as a whole. Not to mention, there's even professional staff and biologists to aid marine lives to create the best living conditions for them. So proper diet is fed. If Proposition thinks that they just put animals there for the entertainment of people, they know nothing about aquariums. And second of all, they talked about how this is misleading conception to the public about marine lives. Even if this is true, we still don't see how animals are affected themselves, because news are everywhere, and aquariums are not places to inform the public about how animals are in so good conditions. Rather, they are places to educate the public on different species of fish or marine animals as a whole. Later, they also talk about the ethics, in which they mention about how animals are better thrived in the wild. This isn't always the case. The wild is full of dangers like oil spills or even climate change and even various types of pollution. So animals are going extinct, and that is the reason why we have aquariums or other like wild safari to help those animals, and it acts as a middleman, bringing animals together and connect them with researchers. Second clash is on the economy, right? Why is the economy important and related to the upkeep of aquariums? Because just like anything, we do not shut down fast food restaurants because fast food are bad for human health, because doing so will abruptly severely doing so abruptly would actually severely affect the economy. The same goes to aquariums. As we have mentioned, aquariums, in short, provide animals and humans alike the possibility to thrive and survive, and that is the reason why our second speaker specifically mentioned the point on how it's important to upkeep aquariums, because they provide shelters for specific animals who don't belong to like a certain living conditions and they need extra care. Or they're also important for a lot of other biologists, divers, or vets that actually have the capacity to take care of them, and it is what they're doing, and they have specifically expertise in these specific fields. So overall, we believe that our side should take the win, because all their side did is basically just saying that animals should be in the wild, without actually saying how VR or coastal sanctuary is actually better, as we have already engaged and rebutted in every single case they have put out. Very proud to oppose.